All right, we will. All right, crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay, so officially we got started here. It's been a long time since I've seen everybody, so I'm happy to be here. As you know, I love this product. So let's start with just getting you into in the mood and just play a little song here. And I keep saying that it's Robert's favorite song. He says, "Marco, don't say that anymore." I said, "Well, it's your favorite song." So I found this new style, and we'll talk a little bit more about the operation of the keyboard today, but this style is awesome. It's called a big band bolero. Now, in the US, a lot of people, when they say bolero, they always associate it with Ravel's bolero. Well, where I come from, that's not a bolero. In Cuba or the Spanish countries, a very beautiful ballad, normally with lots of pianos and normally a trumpet player that leads the melody with an intro and then guitars, and it's just beautiful. So this song, I played it a million times. Robert does another version of it too. It can be played slow, it can be played fast, it can be played medium, and it's in the key of D minor, and it's called Bésame Mucho. So I'm not gonna mess too much with the right hand. I just have two pianos in different octaves. We'll talk about how you could do that on your own. But I want you to listen to this beautiful style. I'm in love. I'm in heaven. So here we go. Sit back and enjoy the sounds of a big band bolero. Here we go. Isn't that crazy, beautiful? Wow. So there's a bunch of stuff, and I'm not going to try to sell anything. I'm just going to educate you today. But there was a massive email that went out with new expansion packs and all kinds of stuff. So if you haven't checked your email, you may want to check and read into that email I sent. This is one of the styles that is inside that expansion pack. So I think the biggest problem that we have using the Yamaha product is that a lot of you are used to instruments, and I'll say names like the Lowry product or even the Roland product, actually all the product. You have no access to add things to your machine. So what you got is what you got, and you can't add voices, you can't add styles, Registrations are just setups that you can save into that. We all can do that. So what happens on this product is highly uh, not complicated, because if you know how it works, nothing is difficult. It's if you don't know what you're doing, then it can become a nightmare. So there's three things on the Genos or any Yamaha product, Genos 2, Genos 1, Tyros 54321, Clavinova, whatever. In this particular case, the Genos 2, there are three areas that you should be aware of that you have access to implement and add other items to it. The number one will be styles. So if I go to the Geno screen here, we're going to go to there so you can see it. Let me change the view. And this is my main screen on the Genos right now. Everybody's familiar with it. So how do you get to the main screen? Just keep hitting the exit button until you can't get out anymore. So if you notice, I always talk, when I talk to people, I always say, you know, have you noticed that orange band on the bottom left corner is pretty big? And right now it says Big Band Bolero, and then to the left of it, on the top little corner, it says Style. So if I push that and you go to presets, it's what's built into the Genos. What's awesome is to the left of the screen, you have a category, and once you pick that category, it populates to the right. For example, if I were to pick country category, now I have 60 styles of country music, and they go by page. Page 1, there's 10. Page 2, 10 more. Page 3, 10 more. Page 4, 10 more. That's 40. 10, 20, 30, 40. And page 5, that's 50. And page 6, one more. So 51 just country styles. That's unheard of on any other product that you have currently. So it's fantastic. So how do you use it? Well, this is the part where you try to different foods. Remember, I keep saying that food and music is the same. So if you go to mainstream cowboy and you have to taste it, well, how do we taste music? Well, what I do, let me go back to the camera. So I selected mainstream cowboy. Now I go to the screen and then I hit the intro button and then I play a chord, and that's how I taste it to see if I like it. I do a lot with intros and ending because that'll set you in the mood to pick a song. So how does it sound? Well, okay, pick it, mainstream cowboy, intro number 3, synchro star, and make sure that the accompaniment is on. That's where the style will come on. And then I just play a chord, and let's see if I like it. Here we go. And then you have different variations, A, B, C, and D. So the larger the letter, then the later in the alphabet, the more busy the background becomes. So on letter A, it's a very simplified country. You'll hear it. Just a guitar. B, that's the bass player on the guitar. And then D, that will be everybody else. Right. And you can pick whatever you can play whatever you want. And then I give it an ending to see what I like it. Ending. Excellent. So that's one example out of 61 country styles you can have. So again, you go back to the screen, pick a category. Let's go back to the screen here so we can see. And then again, the orange strip. Right now, it remembers the last item you selected. So I love Latin music, so I push Latin category on the left, and there's 10 on the first page, 20, 30, 40, 50. No, 45. No, 10, 40. 55. 55 styles of Latin music. Then steel band soca. I don't know what that is. So I push it. I hit the synchro start on the intro. I'll shift the camera again so you can see. So I picked the steel band soca. Now I hit synchro start, intro number 3, which is the biggest one, and I play a C chord, and I taste it. It's how I'm tasting all the plates of food that's available in music for me. Here we go. Mary Ann never sounded this good. Crazy. So that's how you taste the flavors of all the styles, and there's literally 1,000 styles of music, which is unheard of on any product. So this is how powerful this GENOS 2 is. The other choice you can have are voices. And I've never shared this with you. There's a very important aspects on this keyboard. And let me give you a little history about how Yamaha started. A very short history. They started with what they called the Tyros model, Tyros, and that was kind of at the time, it was like the most amazing thing that you've ever heard in music. And then they made the Tyros 1, Tyros 2, Tyros 3, Tyros 4, Tyros 5, GENOS 1, and now GENOS 2, which was just introduced in 2024. So what happened to all those voices that were all along the way? You know, we just lose them. We don't have access to them. Well, Yamaha doesn't do that. As Yamaha moves forwards in their product, everything that was prior to this is inside here, but it's in a very special place. And if you've never heard of this class in itself will be worth attending today. So let's say that I wanted to have some of the most beautiful strings that they had on the Yamaha product were on Tyros 3 and 4. Beautiful. Even if I say so with being respectful, even better than what the GENOS has. So where are those located? Very simple. So to the right of the keyboard, you have these 4 buttons here. And it says voice select, left, right 1, right 2, and right 3. So what I do is I push the black key, not the bottom one, the black key on the top where it says right 1, and I push it, and here's what you see in the window. This is very, very, very important. Make sure that you follow me here. This is what's built into the GENOS. So I just hit right 1, it came up on the screen. The category is just the same as the styles on the left. So if I hit organ, it populates hundreds of different sounds with just organ sounds. If I hit now choir, the same thing, all vocal sounds. If I now hit acoustic guitar, the same thing. But there's a little arrow to the right of the screen. If you go up, you'll notice on page 2, it says legacy. Legacy voices. Legacy voices are every instrument prior to GENOS 2, including Tyros 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and GENOS. So when I hit legacy, my favorite string sounds that exist on this Yamaha product is under legacy. Then I highlight the category of strings and then go to page 4 on the first choice on the second set of sounds called strings. Those are the most amazing strings I have ever heard of any product. So let me get out of this window. So I'll give you a little flavor what it sounds like. So again, I went to legacy, I went to strings, I went to page 4, and these are unbelievable sound strings. Right underneath that there's strings pad, beautiful. And the same is true on other categories. So if while I'm in the legacy category, if I now change the category to something different, you may have now acoustic guitar. Here's one called concert guitar that doesn't exist on the Genos 2 anymore. So I hit the concert guitar, and then now here's a little flavor of what that concert guitar sounds like. There we go. I love this sound. Amazing, 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 amazing. So that's the legacy category. And there's hundreds of sounds there. So if you're unhappy with string sound, if you're unhappy with a woodwind, if you're unhappy with organs, if you're unhappy with brass, percussion, everything, it's another whole area of the keyboard that you can investigate. And then besides that, then we have the third category, which are presets, also known as playlists. So if you own the Fletcher Music Edition, when you open this up, you have access to all my classes. And then there are also presets that are built in for Yamaha. So one of the best ones to use, if you don't want to mess with any USBs or anything, for every rhythm style that you choose, right after you pass the 10 presets and the freeze and the memory, there's a set of 4 buttons called one-touch settings. So those 4 buttons are populated depending on the style of music you pick. So if I go to a style, again, remember the style, the easiest way is to use the center of the window where the orange stripe is. And then let's go to big band, which is called jazz, the same idea. And then pick a category. Let's pick acoustic jazz. And then here are 4 sounds that Yamaha put in there for you that are most likely to be used if you're using the acoustic jazz. So let's give it an intro and let's play a little song using acoustic jazz. Here we go. Press number 1. When you're tired of that, press 2, 3, and 4. Here we go. Amazing. Beautiful. So you can have a lot of fun without ever using a drive. This is just I'm very peculiar with this because the Yamaha stuff is great, but in comparison to what I make, it's night and day. I spend hours working on registration, and they do a great job, but if you really want to get the best sounds out of the keyboard, is to upload some of the software that I create, and it's really outstanding. So let's do another thing besides the registration. So if you put the stick in there, the quickest way to access that, and I know I'm repeating myself, but it's okay. Right next to the 10 presets, you have 2 black buttons, and it says, in parentheses, says select on the bottom, and one says plus and minus. But if you push them together, they take you to the communication page where you can talk to the USB. So if I hit those 2 sounds, then all I have to do is highlight in the window. Let me get the window here. Come on. What happened to my mouse? Not working. Okay. So let's get the camera up here. So what I did is I hit the plus and minus at the same time. It took me to that communication page. And then if you notice, if I pull the USB out, keep an eye on the window. The USB got disconnected. The USB is no longer a choice. So once I push it in, it'll say USB connected, and then it shows you, and it goes right to it. So you don't have to be that smart to figure it out. And then these are all things that I've done over time. 400 presets, the famous sounds. A lot of you have access to all those. So if I went to famous sounds, there you go. When I push it, and then there's 400 presets there based on the category of sound. So if I pick blues band, now in front of me on the category, I now have, change the camera again. So I hit blues band, and then I have 8 of them in the screen here. So I push 1, and you can play any song that's blues. It's got its own intro and ending, but this has been tweaked by me. So the sounds are amazing. So a little flavor of the blues band, give it an intro, here we go. Great stuff. So the message today is simple. 3 areas that we can investigate: the areas of styles, the area of sounds, voices, and the area of pre-made registrations or built-in registrations. Then one last little item I want to talk to you about with what they call RIT, retardando, not retarded. Every rhythm has a feature. If you hit the ending twice, real quick, instead of just pushing it once, just hit it 2 times, and the keyboard goes in what they call retardando mode. So as the ending starts to play, it starts pulling back on how fast the band is playing. And it's something that's done very commonplace in the real world. But if you had to do it yourself, you have to go to the tempo and then minus, because if you hold it, it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. It goes from 150 to 50 in 3 seconds, and that's not good. So let me demonstrate. That's really good. So let's go to a style. We'll pick a big band style, jazz. Let's go to 1950s big band swing. Let's put a Yamaha preset, number 1. And then when I hit the ending, which is right here, instead of just hitting it once, I'm going to hit it twice. 1, 2. And then you'll see what happens. So here's the intro for the big band swing. Here we go. It's awesome. It's really good. And it works with all the styles. So when you get to the ending, if you don't hit it twice, it just stays at the tempo, tong, 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 and it ends. But if you hit it twice, if you watch the screen, the tempo starts little by little moving down and plays it a lot slower. So works great on all of them. The Latin one, let's not try a Latin one. So let's do bossa nova, pop bossa nova intro. Here we go. Yeah, it's great. So you can't mess it up. I just do it. You hit it twice real quick for the retardando feature. So once again, let's review and then I'll let you guys go and have a good time with the keyboard. Three areas again. Areas of styles, areas of voices, and areas of registration. And if you're trying to find something under those areas that you have no business being in, you'll get a blank screen. And that's when I get the phone call. Oh my God, I went to your presets, and then I hit voice, and I don't have anything. So my keyboard's broke, all service. I said, no. What's broke is the person sitting in this bench. So that's what's broken, not the keyboard. So the areas of interest again, and this is something that you need to work on. There's plenty of stuff built in. There's plenty of stuff we can add down the line. You should never be bored with an instrument of this caliber. Styles of music, which is the orange band in the window. And you push it. If you have expansion packs, you can reach those. If not, you can reach what's internally. Or if you have styles that are coming from a USB, you can get those. Then number two is the voices, which you activate through the black buttons. There are three of them, and when you push it, you get what's built into, but there's an arrow to the right of it. So if I hit that arrow, and then I go to the second page, there's all kinds of things, but legacy are my favorite sounds. And this is everything prior to Genos 2. Regular Genos, Tyros 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. They're all in there. And then finally, the registration communication page, which connects you to the USB, which is the plus and minus button by the 10 presets, and then, access the USB, and then you pick your poison, whatever you want to do. So it's really, really an amazing machine, and I've just been traveling so much in Florida for like 10 days. I got back not too long ago, and now next week I'm going to Arizona, and it's just insanity. So for me to do a class when I'm on the road, but I promise you, as soon as I'm home, and this is courtesy of Steve Galloway because I don't have mine yet. So Steve's on vacation till next week. Actually, he gets back on Sunday, and I've had this to myself for a long time, but I was gone. So I came home, and I've been monkeying around with it, having a great time. So I promise you one thing, and this is the thing that I've always been very adamant about. Problems, depression, loneliness, all of that stuff is part of who we are as people, as human beings, and can only take so much bad things, and a week of unfortunate things seems like the end of the world. But I promise you that I know I do it. I know a lot of people that are associated with me do it. This is the greatest relief you can have, better than any medication you can take, better than anything you can decide to do. The only problem is when you leave it, it all comes back again. So if we could have this all day long, 24 hours a day, it will be a much happier world, in my opinion. So if you're down, if you're having a hard time with life and whatever it is, even just playing an intro and an ending, that in itself, just inspirational. It's like, wow, how lucky am I to have something like this? So So if you haven't checked your email, it was a massive email. It's a huge upgrade if you're interested again. And the Yamaha calls them expansion packs. The uniqueness of what I was able to do, every country has a different pack. So me being the persistent person I am with OCD, I went around different countries, the Yamaha services, and pretty much everywhere in the world. And then I registered my product into that area and allow me to download expansion packs that you could never get. It was complicated. It was jumping through hoops to make it happen. But then once I got accepted through, you know, most of my favorite things will be Europe, Latin America, Germany, France, Spain, Italy, all of those. So I'm a member now of a Genos owner, Genos 2 owner, and allows me to go in there and download the files. And all I did was just build an expansion pack for our customers. And there is a price attached because I spend hours, like 40, 50, 60 hours doing this. And then the installation will be done through you and I on the phone, where I call you, you give me what I need, I build it, and I send you the USB for you to upload it in your house. It's too complicated of a thing to do, so I've sold about 30 of them so far. If you want to be part of that group, go check it out. So I hope you learned something. I know we don't really open the room for questions and answers and all that, but every time, if you just got yours, I would recommend going back to when we started, because every week as we do them, or whenever we get to do them, they get more and more involved. So if you don't know how to change the tempo, for example, if you don't know how to transpose and all of those little things that are kind of necessary evil to run them, then being in a class here today, if you just got yours 3 days ago, you're probably wondering, what have I done? So just take the time. They're all on YouTube through Fletcher Music, and they're really good. So sit down, watch one every week or whenever you can, and every time you listen to me do something, then go try it and keep reviewing the video. So have a good time with it. It's a great product. I absolutely love it. I endorse it 100%. And I think you don't have to be a professional. You have to be as a music lover to be able to enjoy the fabulous sounds here. So we got people arriving so late. We had a great turnout today. So I'll leave you with that and thought, and then hopefully next week I should be here. So we'll do another one with me. And then after that, I'll be gone for 10 days. So maybe Robert will pick it up or someone will. So, well, thank you for your time. I hope you enjoy your get together today and have some fun and make some great music. So thank you, everybody. Have a great day.